Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to do a requested video, unpopular opinions about popular products. First of all, I want to just put a disclaimer. This is my opinions and my thoughts. Everyone's experiences with makeup and skincare etc. are different, so some things might work for me and not work for you and vice versa. So if you love these products that I'm going to talk about later, keep on loving them. There's no problem with them if they work great for you. It's just that it happens not work on me and I want to talk about that. So yes. With that out of the way, let's get into it. I think I'm going to go with the order of how controversial I think it is going to be. So first off, I'm going to start off with the Fenty lip glosses. I know this has been a very hyped product ever since it's been launched because it was advertised as the universal lip gloss. It works for everyone. It's hydrating, it's hyaluronic acid, it's beautiful, plump, juicy. It's made by Rihanna. And I definitely hopped onto that bandwagon. I even have two, as you can see. I actually had three. I had the small version of the original Fenty Glow, but I actually used it up. And the thing about me is, I think I tried to convince myself I love it just because everyone else loved it and Rihanna made it. So I kept telling myself like, hey, this is actually really great, you know, it's working for every single skin type. But you know, to me, I think it's just like a regular gloss. I don't see how it's too unique. Sure, there's some sheer colors of, you know, coral, orange, and some pinks, but at the end of the day, it's just a gloss. Like all glosses, it gives a very temporary shimmer and hydration, so I didn't see it being extra special. And the thing about these glosses are, whenever I put them in my cabinet, it somehow leaks, so it's actually really sticky on the sides. I don't know what's happening because I did put the lid on really tight and I actually find this really tacky and sticky. Not sure if it's just mine, but I did have all three and I had the same issue with them. I just thought they were very sticky. I didn't like them. They felt heavy on my lips. I could feel it, and every time I smacked my lips together, I could feel the gloss on me, and I hate that. I like to make glosses feel like they're not there. I think that is more what I want, whereas these, they're very heavy. Don't like them. Will I still use them? Yes, I bought it with my money. I will use them, but it's not like I'm in a rush to use them. It's more like if I put them in a project pan, I will try my best to use them. So yeah. Next up is MAC's famous Velvet Teddy, supposed cult favorite, the most beautiful neutral nude lipstick ever made. But for me, I didn't like it that much. I mean, I don't hate it, but I just don't think it's that hype worthy. The thing about this is, I think it's just for my skin tone. This is leaning a bit cool and grey for me, so it doesn't look too flattering on my lips. It looks very pink, I think, in my phone camera, but it's actually quite neutral cool, and I just don't find this very flattering on my lips. So whenever I wear it, I usually just put it in the center and blot it out to a point you can't really even see it. It turns into a My Lips But Better, but I just don't think it's that worth it. And I don't like the matte formula of MAC lipsticks. I find it actually settles in my fine lines and makes it look more dry than it is meant to. So not a huge fan of it. And just in general with MAC lipsticks, I don't like their scent. It has this strong like vanilla fragrance to it, which I don't like. I don't like vanilla in my fragrances, so this is just not that comfortable for me. Whenever I wear on my lip, I can taste it. It's not it for me. I don't like it. Next up, I have more lipsticks to talk about. These are the Pat McGrath powder lipsticks, and I think Pat McGrath as a brand in general is very, very hyped and very popular. However, I don't like these lipsticks. I don't see why they're so special and why they are worth that price tag. Pat McGrath is insanely expensive. I think it was Nikki Tutorials who did a video where it was like the best lipsticks in the world, and I was like, okay, if Nikki says it's great, then I'm going to try it out. So when they had the minis, I was like, yes, I have to get it. It's a lot more cheaper, and if I like it, I can buy a full size, so it was a great trial. And I have to say, I was a little bit disappointed by these. The best thing about these lipsticks for me is literally just the packaging. And that shouldn't be the one reason that I got something, especially if these are full price at like $60. The main thing about these is the shades, they're quite nice. It's not the shades I was too fussed about because like the MAC Velvet Teddy, I can sheer it out to make it look like my lips are better. But the thing is, I just find these very meh. They're just kind of like average lipsticks. I don't see why they are so insanely expensive. They are very easy to glide on and they are very, very pigmented. But same thing with the MAC ones, I feel like the formula is actually really similar. And it just settles into my fine lines after a while and it stains my lips. I don't like it when lipstick stain unless it specifically says it is a tint and it will stain my lips. I like it when that happens, but I just find these kind of lackluster. They're pigmented, they're creamy, they kind of look matte when you first apply it, but over time it just dries down and makes your lips look like prunes, but that's about it. I don't think they are worth the price, and there are better lipsticks out there, so that's my unpopular opinion. Next up, I'm going to talk about a K-beauty product. This is the Imei Pep Bomb. This has been quite famous, I think, around K-beauty because, first of all, the packaging is adorable. I did a video with this and I said I loved it. I did for a while, but then I realized I didn't. So it's one of those love-hate relationships. But I think the main thing with this is it's too drying. You can tell from a lot of the lip products I was talking about, I don't like when things are too drying. And this is a lip and cheek in one product. So you can put it as blush, your lips, and you can put it even on your eyes as eyeshadow. It's very versatile. And I like it when products are marketed as versatile. However, for this one, it's too powdery and dry and it doesn't give you enough time to blend it out so it looks seamless. And the issue with that is when you're using it as a cream blush, it is so pigmented to the point where, let me just show you, it's so hard to blend it out into something that is wearable for my skin type. And you can see as I'm smudging it, it's already drying down to this powder finish. So it doesn't give me much time to blend it, and as you start blending it, it starts to become streaky and it settles into your skin. You can see it's starting to kind of ball up a little bit, so it's quite hard to blend unless you put it on your fingers or hand and get a brush and slowly stamp it. But even that way, it's a little bit hard to control the brush strokes and it just becomes uneven. I just don't think it's the easiest to apply for the cheeks, and for the lips, it's just insanely drying. It's like the desert on my lips. I don't like it unless I have to put like a huge amount of lip balm on underneath it. Otherwise I just can't get it to work. And yeah, it's just too much effort for this product. I love Imei as a brand, but this one is a little bit of a pass for me. Next up, I'm going to talk about two mascaras. These I actually decluttered ages ago, but I just never threw them away. I don't know what the point of my declutters are. I put them aside, I don't throw them away. But these are the L'Oreal Lash Paradise and the Essence Lash Princess. These have been so hyped about all over the internet. And everyone seems to love them but me, which is really, really sad. I wanted to love them so much. This is the Lash Paradise, and I think I bought it solely because Tati was like, this is the best. It makes your lashes look beautiful, voluminous. Yeah, that didn't happen with me. I think my issue with mascaras in general is that I have very short lashes, and Asian lashes tend to just go down. They don't curl up naturally. And yeah, so I think for these, they will work great for you if you naturally are born with super long and just pretty lashes that cooperate. Mine, not the case. But if it was just for the fact that it didn't make my lashes stay curled, that wouldn't be a big issue for me because I can just technically curl it throughout the day. The thing about these are it flakes. They don't wear long for me. I tried it so many times. I tried different lash primers. I tried like bare by itself. I tried one layer. I tried two layers. I tried having like 10 minutes in between each coat, and they just never work with me. They always flaked on me after like 2 hours, which is not what I want because when I go out for uni, it takes me like a solid hour to actually get there, and by the time I'm at uni, half of my makeup is already on my face. That just, you know, my mascara, I don't want it to be there, and it just does that for me. Both of these, I think for the Lash Princess, I was more sad to let it go because it actually made my lashes look very, very beautiful and long and just pretty, but it flaked on me, and that's just not what I want. And this one, it just made my lashes look clunky. It didn't make it look pretty and lengthened. So yeah, these two are a pass. Next up, I'm going to move on to a fragrance. This is the original Jimmy Choo Eau de Parfum, and I think this is a very, very hyped product, especially by Kathleen Lights. I bought this because she was raving about how beautiful this scent is with the patchouli, the toffee, and the gourmand scents and notes in them. I thought this was for sure going to be my favorite fragrance. And the thing about this is I actually tried it out in stores before I bought it, and I realized I didn't love it, but I still bought it. That's a me problem, but I bought it because I was like, if Kathleen Lights love it and I love so many of her other recommendations, I'm going to try this. And yeah, this was not it for me. I couldn't smell the patchouli on my skin. This was just straight up like artificial sugar for me. It was, I wouldn't say it was headache inducing. That's a bit too intense, but yeah, it wasn't pleasant. Whenever I put it on, I felt sticky. I started using it later as like a room spray on my curtains, and whenever there's wind from the window, it would like hit the notes, and that smelled really nice, but on my skin it just didn't work. It almost turned sour on my skin, so that's just my body chemistry. It didn't work well with this one, unfortunately, so I don't love it that much. I don't think it's the best, but fragrance is a very personal thing, so probably try it out and see if you like it. If you still like it, wear it. But the main thing about this one is I just don't find the notes to really show up. I didn't get the pear either. All I got was sugar, 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 and yeah, not my favorite, so that one is a pass. Okay, last but not least is the Ordinary Glycolic Acid Toner. So this is actually one of the very first skincare products I bought. The issue I had with this was it stung my face. And my skin, I wouldn't say it's super sensitive either. It just reacted really badly with this, and it hurt when I put it on. That is after I just, you know, did my normal double cleanse. I just pat it onto my skin and it stung like crazy. At first I was dismissing. I was like, hey, if it's hurting, it's working, it's doing great things. But I also couldn't see a difference in my skin after I used it. I could only feel like it was irritated and getting more red on my skin, whereas I was meant to see more like overall brightness, smoothness in my skin. I didn't see that. There was no good effects of it except for it hurt my face, and I also had to be careful because it is an exfoliant, so couldn't use a lot of other ingredients alongside it, so I had to also be careful in my other skincare routine. So it was kind of just like too much of a hassle, and later on I was like, you know what, it's not working, it's not doing great things for my face, so I'm going to use it on my body. So I started using it on my legs and my arms as a chemical exfoliant, and it didn't sting this time, thank gosh, but the issue I had was it was very sticky. Afterwards, when you put it on, your whole like arm and leg just felt like it was tacky and uncomfortable. It didn't do too much for fading the scars and bumps on my skin either, because I do have kind of like strawberry legs, I think that's what they're called, because I get bitten by mosquitoes so often, but it didn't do too much for my skin, my body, my legs, etc. So yeah, I also saw a TikTok that you can put this in your hair to prevent like oily scalps, etc. I did try it. Yeah, it didn't do too much because it just made my like hands sticky. My roots felt like they were just sticky, and it was just uncomfortable. I don't like how it felt on my skin. So yeah, not something I love and would buy again. Don't recommend it. Alright, that is it for my part 1 of unpopular opinions about popular products. I hope you enjoyed this video because, not gonna lie, it was quite fun to bash some products, although I do not like doing that on a daily. I do like to say more positive things, but these are just some products that I didn't find worked out for me, and it's a shame because I wanted them to work so badly, and you know, that's just how things are. But that's about it for today's video. Let me know, would you like to see a part 2, because there's a lot of things in my collection I would gladly talk bad things about. So yeah, let me know. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know, do you agree with my opinions or do you disagree? Or is there any other ways I can use these products to make them work for me? Please let me know. I would love to hear your opinions and your tips and tricks. But that's about it for today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.